Hi, myself Rishabh Tarve, and I'm a student of Function Up School of Technology. I'm in the second semester of my college, and I do DSA in Java. So today I was going through a question, and I want to discuss with all of you about the lead code problem that I'm going to discuss today. So I hope you know the basics of Java, or you were lagging between any of the points while solving this question. So maybe this could help in any way, whether you like my solution. So the problem number that today I'm going to discuss from the lead code problem is 3005, and the question itself states by the headline of the question as count elements with maximum frequency. So we have to, when we will break down this part of the question, we get to know that we have to count all the elements that have this maximum frequency, whatever we get through the description or the outline of the question. Let's come to the difficulty of this question. So it is being categorized as easy level, and the topics I can see it says array, hash tables, and counting. So these are the topics required for this question. So let's understand the description of the question. So it has been given us that we have been given an array nums. So an array has been given, and the name of the array is nums, consisting of positive integers. So by the first line of description for this question, we get to know we have been given an array. Array are a set of items that can be any data type, either integer, strings. Here we have been given integers, and the name of the array is nums. And in this question, they are positive integers. We have to return the total frequencies of element in nums, as that those elements all have maximum frequency. So let's break down this line first. So understand the question more precisely. We have to return the total frequencies. It means total number of elements which have maximum frequency in that array. So whatever array we can have inside the input, so we have to return the total frequency in that. Also, we have been given the frequency of an element is the number of occurrence of an element in that array. So we all know that the frequency of an element can be the number of time it has occurred. So that's what the question is all about. So we have been given a few examples to understand the question in a more precise way. So a nums array has been given. The elements inside it is 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. So when you can observe the elements inside the arrays, 2 has been 2 times frequency, 1 also comes 2 times. So when I ask you what is the maximum frequency for an element in this array, so 2 is the maximum frequency for an element present here. So um, the question wants us to return the maximum number of elements with the maximum frequency. So at first we have observed the total number of elements with the maximum frequency. So 1 and 2 are the total two numbers which have maximum frequency. And when we will add both of them with their frequency, so they add up to 4. So this is the output. Explanation same has been given here. For example, two nums array already have been given 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see all have occurred only once. So according to by the description of the question, we can take each element have the maximum frequency in this question. So the output for this question will be 5 itself. So, and also when you will get to know about the constant for this question, that the length of the array, the elements cannot exceed the total number of elements inside my nums array cannot exceed 100, cannot be less than 1 elements. Also, the elements inside the array can lie between 1 to 100 and inclusive 1 to 100. So after getting through the question, we can observe we have been given an array. We have to find frequency of an element. Then we have to shout out which elements have the maximum frequency, and we have to add up all the elements which have occurred maximum number of times. So let's solve this problem. I have approached for a solution. If you find this solution good, you can proceed. Else, if you have a better solution, you can skip that. So my solution for this question is I have initialized an array, because already we have been given the class name as a method name as maximum frequency element, and the integer array has been the input for this question, and the name of the array is nums have been already given by the LeetCode. Now I have started with creating an array, and the array syntax you already know. We have to first give its data type, then the name of the array, and the array syntax, and new to create the new keyword is always to create the object of that array, and int 101. So the question comes in your mind, why we have taken 101? So while I was explaining you the question, the constraint was given here that the maximum number of elements that can be present inside my array will be 100. So while counting it from, as we know, zero index is the part of programming language, so maximum 101 elements can be present, or we can say 100 elements will be there in case of when we will compare through the index, not in the index format. So again, I have used a for each loop. So we know it is a simplified way of using of instead of for loop, we can use for each loop. For each loop format is in the format of you initialize the variable and take out all one by one elements from an array. So similarly, I have initialized a variable I and given its data type as integer, and taking one by one elements of nums array inside it and adding it to my array which I have created. And once this completes, then it moves to the next element of my nums array. Similarly, all the elements from the nums array is being shifted to my array which I have created. Then I have this for each this completed for each loop has been completed. Then I have initialized a variable max. Why we have created a max variable? Because we want that the maximum frequency before assigning any frequency to any of the elements of inside my array should not increase zero, because we don't know how many times a number has been occurred. For that, I have initialized my variable by the data type int as zero. Then I have used a for each loop and given its data type as int, and again one by one all the elements which I have created inside my array, passed it from nums to array. Now I've created a variable I and given its data type as int, and passing one by one all the elements of my array in this variable. And if my max value exceeds that, what we are doing in this line of codes, that one by one we are checking the elements. If it already exists in my array, then we will increase its frequency and the max will be updated. Similarly, all the frequencies will be stored here, and then int result I have assigned to zero. Why we have initialized a result to zero? Because we want total number of elements which have maximum frequency in this question. So we don't know total number of elements present with the maximum frequency. We just have calculated. Now again, we have used a for each loop and initialized the I variable and taking out one by one elements from the array. If max double equal to I, if any of the elements which have maximum frequency, in the previous for each loop, we have calculated how many elements have frequencies, which element have which frequencies. Now in this for each loop, what we are doing is we are clearly checking our condition, which elements have the same frequency. Now, whichever elements have the same frequency, we add up those elements, and these elements will be returned in the last line of code. So this is all my approach which I have came through. So let's check what's the test cases about my. So the test cases for my code has been accepted. Now let's submit this code. So the result processed by the LeetCode you can see here is runtime 1 ms and memory 48.12 MB, and it reads 99% of the user. So now talking about the time and space complexity for this question, as you know, the time complexity for this question will be big O n and space complexity will be big O n. This is the basic fundamentals for the time and space complexity according to the for each loop, which we have initialized one by one. We are iterating through the loop. So I hope you liked my solution. So that's all for this question. Thank you.